Welcome, Cancer. This is your weekly focus for the week of July 22nd. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your support. Let's turn to the cards, Cancer, and see what they have to tell us about our week going forward. Cut the cards. Our underlying energy is, what is it? The Four of Pentacles. What are we holding on to? Okay, this has a lot to do with our money here. It is the Four of Pentacles. I think it's your relationship with money, really. Okay, maybe you don't feel confident in how you earn money, or you're not letting go of something, or you're putting too much focus maybe on material wealth, or maybe you're spending too much and now you're trying to hold this in, or you're being very generous with people. So it could actually go a lot of different ways here, but I'm definitely getting that it is your relationship to money. We'll see what else we got. Look at the King of Pentacles. Here's your relationship to money. Okay. My goodness. So the King of Pentacles is here. Now, the King of Pentacles stands on tradition, what has worked in the past. Okay, if it's not broken, don't fix it kind of energy. When it comes to investing money, when it comes to earning money, when it comes to making money, it really is about the tried and true when this card is here. So it is for you too. But you're thinking outside the box right now. You're coloring outside the lines, so to speak. You are looking for new ways, unique ways, innovative ways to create money in your life. And this talks about great abundance. This talks, maybe you have an idea this week that just allows you to flourish. Or maybe you change jobs this week and it just your career path is open, wide open. Or maybe you're going through your finances and you are understanding how to, I don't know, how to, maybe it's taking a loan because you know that putting $1,000 into this investment right now is pretty well 99% fallible or infallible, I should say. So you figure you'll make that money back and you'll be able to pay the loan back fast. I'm getting some kind of risk taking here. Just be careful that you are standing in your truth. You're walking with a sense of authenticity, okay, in all your actions and what you do and what you say. We have the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands hasn't shown up for a couple of weeks, but this is really my card for no man's land. You have been going along your path riding this horse, and you stop. You've reached a point where you stop. And first of all, you have to look back and you have to understand what you have to be thankful for already in your life. Okay, your accomplishments, the ways you have brought in money, increased money, just who you are as a person, maybe what you've brought to relationships, how you've nurtured relationships or people or situations or even projects. The second part, and that's just to raise your awareness of your self-worth, your talents, your abilities, knowing that you've got this. So it really is about looking at our past accomplishments. We also, while we're here, we want to look at, well, what's great in our life. What are we grateful for? Where is the abundance in our life? Where is the prosperity? Where is the great love? Where is the joy? And to be thankful for all those things that we have already at our disposal. So kind of taking stock of maybe your material wealth, maybe your love life, maybe it could be it depends on you right now. We'll see what the cards bring out. But before we get back on our stallion, before we get back on our horse, we want to also ask for a clear path forward, for knowledge and wisdom to come in, to be protected, to be loved going forward, to get everything we need in order to create great successes. So we want to have that moment of talking to God, our angels, our guides, the universe, our higher self, so that we walk into the magic. So we walk into the new experiences with a strength, with a confidence. The Ace of Cups, yeah, there's new beginnings. There's something that you are going to be embracing, a new idea. And it could be an old idea with a twist. Okay, you could just have that little spark of magic, or maybe it's just putting your authentic self, your creativity, your inner expression into that, which makes it very unique and one of a kind because it's part of your essence, it's part of who you are, which is what makes it so unique. Here we are embracing this humongous cup, okay? And it's not a very clear, it's not probably a good card to use with any camera setting. It's very hard to kind of get this in so that you can see it. But you are down here and you are embracing this beautiful giant cup. There is a dove over top. We have the full moon in the background. So we have just entered the full moon energy, right? So this is a time to embrace. Now, maybe you won't make much headway right now because it's more of completions and releasing under a full moon energy, but I tell you, you're getting your ideas together. You're taking from different spots. Maybe you're having conversations, maybe you're researching, and it brings you joy. Okay, it brings you happiness. What you're working on, whatever it might be, where you're going to find this new beginning is it's tied with your happiness, your joy, and also well, bringing in a balance, maybe getting your ducks in a row. But I think prosperity is here for you too. Okay, let's see what overrides this energy. Overriding the energy is the Chariot. Okay, the Chariot is one where we need to pull it back. We need to think it through. We don't want to do any spontaneous or any spontaneous moves right now. Especially when it comes to creating our money, jumping into that investment or how to utilize your money or how to create more money. We don't want to just jump right into it quite yet. We want to take the time to stop, to realize where we are in this moment in time so that we can better ensure that our next step is the right step going forward. We are embracing this new cup. So what does that cup hold? I think we need to take, you know, we need to pull it back. We need to go within. I'm getting a lot of going within, a lot of messages are more shadow self and whatnot. I'm not really getting a shadow self here for you. I'm getting more of an awareness, of a knowing of who you are and how to go forward. I also think because we started off with the king here, that, and now that we have a chariot, we got a major arcana here, that we need to we need to walk with a sense of authenticity. We need to be the diplomat. We need to be the intuitive. We need that fog to lift. We need that sun to come out so that we have the clarity, we have the understanding. Maybe we can see the obstacles that we might be facing. Maybe we can avoid them completely because we can see them ahead of time. We want to make sure that we're not going down a dead end. Supporting all this energy is the Queen of Swords, and that is, your passion, your dream, your desire to embrace it completely, to fall in love with it. Okay, I often get this, like the stereotypical mom, when it comes especially to our dreams and our goals. We have certain dreams, and when we share them with others, we may have people that embrace, but we also have people who like to poke holes, right? We like those. There's always that person in our life that tries to pull us down a peg or so every now and again. So when a mother, okay, stereotypically, okay, when a mother has a child, she will do everything to protect that child. Nobody can harm this child or say bad things about this child. She's there to nurture them. She's there to grow them into the successful adults they're going to be one day. And you need to do this with your dreams. You need to embrace that dream like you gave birth to it. And in essence, you are giving birth to it. To embrace it and not let anybody criticize it or pull it down. And then to give it the nurturing, right? The focus, the attention, the commitment it deserves in order to be the success you want it to be. So once again, we were stuck here and we're talking, we're conversing, maybe with seemingly with ourselves, but God, our angels, the universe, absolutely. We're holding back. We're examining here. Yeah, we're definitely pulling it back and examining a little bit more than we are pushing forward. And it does definitely have to do a little bit, if not all, with prosperity this week. As we come into this week, we have the Eight of Cups. It's about new beginnings. It's about walking away from some of the things that we have found comfortable in our lives. And comfort usually means that we're starting to get into a rut without realizing it. You know, we go to the store, the same, the same store, the same restaurant, or the same venue, or we don't think outside the box. We don't stretch our imaginations. We don't throw caution to the wind in some ways, although I'm telling you not to do that this week, throwing caution to the wind. I think we do need a little bit of caution here with these cards, absolutely. But we also know that whatever we have to leave behind us right now or change in our lives doesn't necessarily mean it is disappearing from our world. In fact, the opposite could be true. Okay, what happens is we tighten our belt a little bit. Maybe we're not spending as much, we're not going through the drive through as often, we're preparing it at home. Not much cheaper, by the way. Groceries cost, especially where I live these days, but it does help a little bit when you're preparing it yourself. Okay, if you have 2 cups of coffee, you probably could have had enough supplies to make coffee for a month for yourself, or maybe maybe 2 coffees, the way the prices are these days. Yeah. So, and it doesn't mean that you can't ever go through the drive-through again. It's just we need to change our priorities. We need to understand what is truly important, what really can be replaced with something more economical at this point in time. I'm surprised the Queen of Pentacles hasn't come out for you here. Okay, let's see the end of the week. The end of the week is the Eight of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so we have spent a lot of time this week thinking about our progress, thinking about what we want to embrace, thinking about the tried and true, but our own spin on it, our own way of doing it. And that all pushes us towards raising the bar on ourselves, understanding what we truly can do. Now, once again, this card represents the candles in this archway here. That's our past. And there's candles lit, which means we need to reflect on the past a little bit here to understand all that we have accomplished, all that we've done. Okay. And maybe the masterpieces we've already done in this world, the accomplishments, the successes. And yes, the curtains are going to fall away, but this other archway here is wide open, and that's where we're going, and that's where our focus is. And it is about raising the bar. Here we're looking at all the pentacles we have made, and we're going, wow, you know what? I have talent. I have ability. I can make money at this. I can raise the bar, or maybe it's grow a better relationship. Whatever it is, I'm thinking more money because it's on this side of the board. But, well, we'll see what happens here. Could be in both. But yeah, you know, if you took time to go with it, and maybe this is where the shadow work comes, you realize how much you actually hold your potential back in many areas of your life. And you're going to start changing that. You're going to start to take back your power where you've given it away. And through your heart, you've done it more often than not. Okay. But where you've given parts of your power away and bringing it back in and putting that potential into your path going forward. When it comes to work and career, look at this, the Six of Cups. What do you want to step into? I have to ask you this. What do you want to step into when it comes to career, when it comes to making money? And somebody told you, you want to do what? That'll never work. Oh my gosh. You know how many people are doing that now? Oh, what makes you think that you are going to make any more? I mean, the market's already saturated. You don't really have any talent there, anyways. You've got a good job, it pays the bills. What more do you want? Seriously, look around. You're good to go. You don't need to push forward. What are you thinking of? And so they persuaded you not to maybe step into that path. Or maybe you've just stepped into it a little bit still because you still felt the calling, but you haven't brought it into what it could be. So this could be a hobby that you are now going to monetize. This could be, in some way, you stepping outside of the comfort zone, you pushing yourself outside the comfort zone because you know the potential you have. And I think you have a very sound or great idea, if not a couple here. And it's from pulling it back that you get the awareness of how to really go forward with a dynamic energy. And I think once you start feeling that, you feel more confidence about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, you automatically enrich any relationships you have, including the world around you. So this is a time to maybe show off your talents. Maybe this is a time to step into the spotlight, to take that talent, to take that ability and give it a try in some way, some form. And I think as you leave the week, you're starting to see your true potential. You're starting to see what you can actually do and create in your life in order to have it all and then some, is what I hear. So that's what I'm going to say. Relationships. Look at this. Nine of Cups. Our wishes are fulfilled. Single. Let's go with single first. You will meet somebody very wealthy or very high of stature within the community or the world. Okay. Pull it back and think it through, but don't let a lot of yourself out of the bag, or don't start thinking, wow, I'm really not worthy of this person. They put on their pants the same way you do, one leg at a time. So bring it back down, even if they are, they have some kind of great. It's like meeting your uh, a star or something, somebody that you never thought you'd meet, but they have stature in the community. They've grown their empire in some way already, or at least built a strong kingdom. They're well to do. They're also tried and true, so they could be a little bit more stubborn in their ways, more cautious. They could be a cautious person, absolutely. And it could take you into a whole new dynamic if you meet somebody during this week, because they could be opening you up to new cultures, new ideas, new ways of doing, being, becoming. But I think you'll hold back your heart in some way, and that might be a good thing. We don't want to go forward until we have a little bit of clarity. But who is that kind of person that you've been asking to come into your life? That's what I would ask you. And have you been treating yourself so that you well enough? Have you been practicing self-care and self-love so that when that person comes into your life, you realize that they are just a complement to who you already are? Now, if you're in a relationship, what are you hoping for that relationship? I would have to say, one, I would sit down and look at, if you're in that relationship. Let's say you've been together for, you've got a joint account, stuff like that. You bought a house together, you got car payments, you got kids, whatever it might be. If you're at that stage, I would sit down and have a very good discussion about, your shared assets, your shared money, how you're going forward, and what you want that to look like. I think projecting is probably a really good thing to do. Yeah, definitely projecting where you want to be in another 5 or 10 years financially with that person in your life. I think you're looking more at the financial. I think you're looking finances all over here, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to making money. But that is really through a passion of yours, a dream of yours, a desire of yours. And probably somebody has told you that you couldn't do it, or you shouldn't do it, or you mustn't do it, or you can't. And they were wrong. Okay. That was simply their opinion. And I think you're going to circle back to that if you do some inner work. I think that will come out. So, concentrate on things like that. We'll pick one more card here. We've got the Three of Swords. So there's some healing that goes on here. I think this is beautiful healing. I don't think you're going into something that's going to tear your heart out. It's more of, because that could be that card too, but I don't really get that at all here. I get it more of you're working through things, you're thinking through things, you're understanding maybe where somebody left a wound or a scar that you didn't even realize, but through retrospection, you start to understand that, wow, they told me this, and you know what, they told me that other time, and well, and you start to think, well, are they working against me? And there's two reasons why somebody might work against a dream that you have. And that is, first of all, they love you and they don't want to see you fail. And so they don't want you to go through the experience. So they warn you not to do it. The other one is, what does that say about them if you're successful? Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.